Today I'm making kind of two versions of the same thing. We're gonna have grilled chicken, and the potatoes are for Zach. I'm actually going to be eating on a keto diet, so I'm gonna have the Brussels sprouts and the onions. So I'm gonna kind of mix it all together, but I'm gonna show you two different versions of kind of what I'm cooking. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna be making. Zach's gonna have the potatoes, the Brussels sprouts, and the onions. I'm just gonna not do the potatoes and do everything else and the chicken, and that's like a part of the keto diet. So yeah, but if you're not eating low carb or anything like that, totally make these potatoes. I'm making red potatoes, and I just put some olive oil, and then I'm gonna put some seasoning on there. I still have like a few more to cut over there, but I'm gonna cut these up, put them in the oven. And then when they're like, when you puncture them with like a knife or a fork and they're easy to push through, then they're done. But then I cook it with the Brussels sprouts and the onions all on the stovetop to make them like crispy and everything. But you'll see that in a second. So yeah, that's what I'm cooking for dinner. Alrighty, now we're gonna start on the Brussels sprouts. And what I'm gonna do here is cut this like stem part off, and then I'm actually gonna cut it in half so it's easier to chop in my little like ninja chopper. This like saves so much time, and it was super easy to do it this way. So easy shortcuts for meal preps help a lot because sometimes they can take quite a bit of time since you are cooking for, you know, a few days of meals that you want to prep. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing, is cutting these up, throwing the stems away, and then I'm gonna put it in my Nutra bullet kind of thing chopper and chop them up. This is what the Brussels sprouts look like when they're all shredded up. It's pretty fine, a little bit more fine than I like wanted it to be, but not too bad. You could actually, if you're not wanting to do such, if you're on like keto or low carb, you could actually substitute this right here with like as like rice, and this would be really a really good substitute for that because it is pretty low in carbs. But what I do is every once in a while I'll just like pick through these like harder pieces so that they don't get cooked up with everything, just so it's not so like you're not just biting in on a huge like hard piece. But it looks like I got everything out of there. So we're just gonna set this to the side. We'll cook our onions, which are I just got these, or you can use shallots. I usually use shallots, but I didn't have any on hand, so I'm just gonna use these. And these were actually really good in another dish that I made, so I'm gonna just use these today. So I'm gonna use some garlic salt to salt the potatoes. This is just some Italian seasoning, just has like oregano, basil, sage, garlic, stuff like that in it. And then I'm going to use a little bit of ground turmeric. I know there's a lot of health benefits to turmeric, but I just have to do a little bit more research on it to see what all the benefits are. And then of course some olive oil. I'm running low, but I just need to refill this. I have more in the cabinet, but I like this because it has like a little spout and it makes it easier to like measure and stuff like that. So I'm just going to season these potatoes now. So now I'm putting the potatoes in the oven at 400 degrees and just cooking until they're completely done. You just kind of have to eyeball it. And I added in my onions into the skillet with my Brussels sprout like salad kind of thing. I'm pretty much putting this all in a big mixture to make it nice and toasty. And then I put some aside for me of the Brussels sprouts and the onions, and then this version is for Zach, my husband. So yeah, and here's the chicken all cooked up. And now I'm just portioning out my like meal size for my macros. And I got these tubs at Walmart, and they are really cool and easy. And yeah, just packing those up. This actually made 4 meals for me and 2 for Zach. So I really recommend this meal prep. It's delicious. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Bye guys!